Hey there, friends. It is Saturday once again. I am 2 weeks late posting my final weigh-in, I guess you can say. Last week I skipped doing week 4 because, like I told you 2 weeks ago, we had a flood happen in our house, and last weekend was just kind of chaos around here. We had floor fans going, the blowers going, we had dehydrators. Like, it was loud and it was hot and it was annoying in our house last weekend. So I just said, you know what, I'm not doing it. I'll skip it and I'll just do a final weigh-in video. And that's what we're doing here today. So I don't want to say hesitant, but a little bit questionable about sharing my final results with you guys because the numbers are very interesting. But then I did my after photos this morning as well, and I'm going to share those with you first. So the side by side here, the one on the left is before, the one on the right is after. The one on the left was taken, I believe, August 2nd or 3rd. I didn't take before photos on the first because I completely spaced it. And so my after photos are from this morning. And you may not be able to see it, but I do, where there are significant improvements in my body comp. There's definitely less bloating. My abdominal area, my torso's a little bit slimmer. My booty's definitely popped a little bit more and lifted up. My arms are a little bit more toned and slimmer. I mean, there's not a huge thing that you can do in a month, but I can see the difference between these parts of my body. And when you see what my final results are, you're going to be like, okay, what's going on here? So I'm going to share those now. So on 820, I was 232.4 was my weight. And my ending weight for my triple B&E was 232.6. My skeletal muscle mass on 820 was 71.2, and this morning was 71.4. And then my body fat was 105.6 on the 20th, and this morning was 105.2. So my initial weigh-in on 7/29 was 232.4. Guess who didn't lose any weight doing triple B&E? I fluctuated through the entire month. You guys have seen that if you've watched my other videos. But from day 1 to day 31, I didn't lose any weight. That's what the scale said. My skeletal muscle mass was lower than what it is now. I can't remember. And my body fat mass is, it's interestingly higher as well. So again, these scales are not foolproof. It's just technology that we can use at home. So I had to come on here because I tell my clients, do photos. Make sure you're doing progress photos. You need to do photos every single month because you need to see what is happening along your journey that's not just reflected on the scale. And proof point right here. My scale did not move. My skeletal muscle mass does appear that it improved. But again, that fluctuated throughout the entire month as well, depending on how much water I was holding onto in those muscles from having a tough workout the day or 2 days beforehand. Because I'm that girl, it's 24 hours after my workout that I'm like, oh, I feel like I got hit by a freight train. So the lesson in this experiment that I did on myself is, do not focus solely on what the scale shows. The scale is important. I'm not going to say it's not, because it is. But you cannot allow that scale to dictate your happiness level or your approval of yourself. Because if I hadn't done photos and I started at 232 and I ended at 232, how disappointed would I be? But I've got proof showing that what I did definitely helped. It definitely helped with my cravings. It most definitely helped reduce the bloating that I had going into August. And I am now slowly reintegrating things back into my diet to see how my body responds to them. This morning I started with cheese, and I'll give it a week and I will see how it goes. I am going to be doing measurements. I'm also going to go by how I feel, because when you're bloated, you know you're bloated. You've got that heavy feeling inside of you. So I will keep tabs on that. And then I will introduce something else back into my diet to see how that goes. So I'm not going to go crazy at our barbecue tomorrow. I've got burgers and dogs and brisket on the menu. That's what I'm going to stick to. I'll probably have a deviled egg or 12 as well, because those are my favorite. But I'm not going to indulge in my keto desserts, like the berry trifle that I make that is keto, but I'm not wanting to give myself, number one, the berries that have the sugar. Granted, they're a low glycemic, but they've got sugar. And I'm also not going to overdose myself on heavy cream tomorrow, because I need to slowly reintegrate things back into my diet to see what things are causing adverse effects that I just ultimately need to completely remove or deal with it. So thank you everyone so much for following along in my month-long journey on Triple B&E. Again, if you have done it, if you're still in the process of it, if you did it yourself last month, please let me know in the comments how everything went, because I'm really curious to see how your results were compared to mine. But everybody have a fantastic Labor Day weekend. Please be safe. Please make good choices. And I will see you again in a week or two. Bye.